Hey, how's it going? It's Robin Smith, and it's time for the Robin Smith Show for September 7th, 2025. Welcome to the podcast. Today's a special day just because September 7th is when my alma mater, Salisbury University, turns 100. So I'm recording this on Thursday, but by the time you listen to it, SU, go Seagulls, we will have turned 100. Hats off to our 100th year. I just want to read a couple of things. I still, as an alumni, get the Salisbury University magazine, and I was thumbing through it, and I wanted to share some stuff with you. If you went to Salisbury or have a family member or a friend who went there, let me just read here from the magazine. Salisbury Forever, a legacy in motion. From its humble beginnings as a rural, quote, normal school to a dynamic university shaping futures on the Eastern Shore and beyond, Salisbury University has spent 100 years redefining what it means to educate, innovate, and inspire. As we celebrate our centennial, our promise remains Salisbury Forever. This promise, what does that mean? Okay, back to the text. This promise honors our legacy and propels us forward with the same seagull spirit that has defined us for a century. In the early 1920s, Maryland faced a problem, a growing need for teachers, especially in its most rural areas. The solution took root on the Eastern Shore. In 1922, the state legislature approved the creation of a new teacher training college, a, quote, normal school. And by 1925, Salisbury opened its doors. Under the guidance of its first president, Dr. William J. Holloway, I think there's a Holloway Hall. Okay, yes, there is. The Holloway Hall, as we know today, begins to take shape as construction continues in 1928. Okay, named after that president, Dr. William J. Holloway, the fledgling state normal school welcomed, was it really called state normal school? Welcomed 115 students. Their lives, academic, residential, and even culinary, revolved around a single building, Holloway Hall. Within those walls, future educators practiced their craft in an on-site demonstration school, setting the stage for a legacy of hands-on learning. The 1930s marked the beginning of Salisbury's transformation. In 1934, the name changed to Maryland State Teachers College, reflecting a broader scope. Campus life flourished with new organizations like a school orchestra, athletics, and theater clubs, even as academic programs expanded from 2 to 4 years. As the post-war years brought waves of changes across higher education, Salisbury kept pace. It introduced liberal arts and sciences majors, added master's degrees, and launched a building boom that included dormitories, a library, and gymnasium. By 1963, the institution's reach had outgrown its original mission and its name. Thus, Salisbury State College was born. See, I remember when I went there between 2006 and 2002 and 2006. I know my own life. It's no longer like my Uncle Chuck is like, you're going to Salisbury State, and I'm like, it's not a state school anymore. It's or if it is, it's the state is not there. It's just SU, Salisbury University. Anyway, this will get very boring for people who don't care about Salisbury. I grant you that. You can skip ahead. I'm just going to read, a couple other things here. Some of you may know Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn is a Seagull alumni. Excuse me. Salisbury University celebrated traditions of the past and the promise of tomorrow at our 100th spring commencement, returning to SU's campus for the first time since the 1970s. The milestone event welcomed 2 alums back to serve as speakers. Past Maryland Teacher of the Year Aaron Deal, 93, was the graduate commencement speaker, and Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn, who graduated in 94, spoke at the undergrad commencement where he and his wife Stacy Quinn, who apparently graduated in 91, were bestowed with honorary Doctor of Public Service degrees. Quinn reminded students, quote, "You may not know what you want to do yet, but you can know who you want to be. This is where your story begins." Okay, the last little thing that I want to share. When I went to SU, I liked Thirsty Thursdays, the what's the champagne of beers? Miller High Life, and Break Time, the pool hall there, offered great deals. I don't remember what it was. It was like, I don't know, $3 Miller High Lifes or something. I don't remember what it was, but I spent a lot of time at break time pool hall with a bunch of scoundrels, and I want to read about that. Just a little paragraph here. So break time. This pool hall and bar, now a beauty supply store. I had no idea. Now when did it close down? Let's see. Attracted students in the early 2000s. Okay, that would have been me. For one in particular, however, the sport of choice wasn't billiards, but archery, as in Cupid's arrow. I met my now husband at break time in 2006, said Kana Freda, who graduated 2007. I was seated at the bar when he came up to order. We loved the live music and playing pool. It was such a great hangout and will forever hold a special place in our hearts. We've been married 16 years with 3 children. Freda and her husband, Matt Trader, now share an SU connection. Both work at the university today. She as an associate professor of nursing and he as a medical simulation technician. Okay, well, that's sad. That's sad. Also, the Monkey Barrel. Did anyone ever go to the Monkey Barrel? I think we're getting too zoomed in here. Let me break out of this. And, woo! Okay, let's go. I told you last time that it's the RennFest episode. Give me 1 second. For legal reasons, I need to say that this is from a prior episode of The Robin Smith Show. In fact, to get even more clear, I will be reading a voiceover currently over top of a track from a prior episode of The Robin Smith Show. Hold, please. A Bridge for the King, 1539. The annual Harvest Festival is the biggest event in the calendar year for the small village of Revel Grove, which is east of the city of Oxford in Oxfordshire. Mayor Matthew McGregor and his wife, Mayoress Beatrice Appleton McGregor, and all of the villagers welcome visitors to enjoy the food, entertainment, and crafts in the village. King Henry VIII and some of his most trusted courtiers are on the annual royal progress and have traveled from Woodstock Manor to Revel Grove to meet with artist Hans Holbein the Younger. The artist has been tasked with painting portraits of some of the most eligible ladies in Europe. If one of the women catches the king's eye, she could be the next Queen of England. Stephen Vaughan, governor of the Merchant Adventurers and ambassador to the Netherlands, is also visiting Revel Grove to meet with Baron Cromwell, chief minister to the king. Also, back in town is Sir Richard Mondes, currently the master of the Worshipful Company of Woolmen and recently elected Member of Parliament for Oxford and Revel Grove. Mondes hopes to secure a deal with Baron Cromwell for an order of 1,000 kerseys. What's Newberry doing in town? Okay, all right, that's enough of that. So go get your tickets at RennFest.com. Again, that's RennFest.com. Maryland Renaissance Festival is in the DMV area. I highly recommend attending this top-ranked festival. Let merriment abound with entertainment, feasting, and crafts for all. Get your tickets today. Good luck. It might be sold out by the time this comes out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Checking in on the breathwork journey. So some of you, if you're just tuning in and haven't listened in a while, you may not realize that we started a September breathwork challenge where myself and any listeners of the show that want to join are committing to doing breathwork every single day this month. So I'm curious how it's going for you all. If you want to write in the show, where is that? There's a number here somewhere. Come on now. Get your shit together, Robin. Way to go, Robin. Way to go. I can't even remember my own... Where's my own thingamajig? Did I delete it? Well, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. If you have a question for an upcoming guest, don't hesitate to write into the show at robinsmithshow@gmail.com. That was so hard to memorize. Okay, leave a voicemail on the show's hotline, 301-458-0883. See, I can read text and look pretty, but I stink at the improv here. Yes, why did I want you to write the show? Oh, yes. How is it going with your breath work? I almost forgot on September 2nd. I was in bed. It was like 11 o'clock at night or 11:30, something past the 11 o'clock hour. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even do my own breathwork challenge. I literally got out of bed, sat on the yoga mat, and engaged with the morning breath work routine late at night, just so that part of me that's like, I can't not do it. Okay, but by the way, I should say, if you did forget, it is okay. All right, I'm curious how it's going. I'll tell you how it's going for me. I have noticed no difference yet, but then again, it's only September 4th. Okay, that's not true. Let's see. Before I am so quick to jump to conclusions, maybe my posture might be better, actually. I don't know if that's in my head, if I'm making that up, or if it's associated with a different change. I haven't done anything else different. Really, this is the only independent variable we're tweaking. But I do notice a difference between doing this breath work with windows open or out in the fresh air versus just in my office. I'm able to... Sometimes I will, when you're at the breath retention part and you're just in that chill zone, if I can't keep it there and the impulse or instinct to take a breath comes too early, I'll do that. But I feel like I don't do that as often when I have fresh air. You know what I mean? So, and again, that's also okay to do. It's okay to cheat. One little hack that I have is if I feel like I need a little bit of sip of air or something, I will lean my neck back. I will lift my chin up and lean my neck back. And just by doing that, it kind of automatically pulls in a little bit of air into the lungs through the nose, I believe. Anyway, so I hope it's going well for you, and maybe we will notice differences later in the month. I don't know. There's a reason why I challenged us to do it for 30 days and not just 5 days. So more on that later. I was watching the Maryland Terps football game against Atlantic Florida, or Florida Atlantic, whatever order it is. I'm waiting for the Commanders game this Sunday, which I guess will have already happened by the time this comes out. But I was watching the Maryland game. Joe Beninati is calling the play-by-play in college football. What the heck? I recognize Joe B as the play-by-play guy for Caps hockey. I had no idea he did that. Now, probably I didn't know that because I don't really watch college football that often, if at all. I don't know how long he's been doing that, but that was interesting. He really knows the ins and outs of hockey and apparently college football as well. Hats off to Joe B. I have a clip that's time sensitive, so... next episode will be Bob Falconer and Jerry Marzinski. Very excited about bringing that conversation to you all. But I interviewed Pablo Leon yesterday, and his episode's not going to come out until a little bit later, but he is promoting his book just got released on September 2nd, Silenced Voices. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes where you can watch the trailer, the graphic novel trailer to that. But this is his debut work as an author. He was on the show back in 2021 to promote the Spider-Man graphic novel that he was the illustrator on. This was written by Justin A. Reynolds. This was the Miles Morales Shockwaves. It's so cool that Pablo's book, it's a Marvel comic book, could be found at the Scholastic Reading Fair at your kid's school. Anyway. But he just won some award. I can't remember the name of the award right now, but it showed up on my social media feed. And I'm like, that's Pablo on stage receiving not an Emmy, but some big-ass glass award in the same building that they filmed the Emmys. And I was like, whoa, congratulations. So he won that for his short film, Remember Us. And so you can find all of this on his website, but I'm going to play a quick clip from our conversation. Enjoy.
If you're in LA, there is an event this September, because we're in September now, and this is kind of where we're moving. In the middle of September, on the 16th, we have a book event with other writers at Romance in Pasadena. And at the end of September, on the 24th, we're going to have an event for Silence Voices at Busboy and Poets in DC. And one, and then on the 24th, and then on the 25th, Dreamers in Baltimore. So I'm gonna be there. The book takes place in Langley Park. It takes place in Maryland, so it's kind of like going back home and
Yes.
kind of bringing it out there. So yeah, really really excited about it. Really excited to see how it's received, especially in DC, especially in Maryland. So if you're in DC, Busboy and Poets, I know that DC right now it's like there's a lot of things happening, but hopefully.
No, what
by
are you
then,
talking about? It's quiet. It's cool and quiet over here.
Super quiet. Yeah. So hopefully, but if anyone that listens to it, if they have time, if you're come by, I think you'll get a half-hour version of this banter, just so it's great. But yeah, that's where we are with that right now, and hopefully it does well enough that we can bring it and translate it, and that's kind of my goal, that it gets translated to other, and especially in Spanish, and it leaves the country, it can go to other places, because I think for me it's important that, especially that it makes its way down, obviously to my home country, but that it makes its way down. I think that would be the main goal,
Okay, so mark your calendars. I'm definitely going to that Busboys and Poets event. So, hey, maybe I'll even run into you there. That's the show, I think. So, again, can't wait to bring you the conversation with Jerry Marzinski and Bob Falconer. That's coming up next time. Before we go, let's read about Light the Night. Light the Night is coming up Saturday, October 25th. It's that's the local walk in my area at the Rockville Town Center. This is Team Zawodowski's 15-year anniversary, and we are going for a team fundraising goal of $8,500. That means my goal is $350. Very doable, especially with your support. If you're a longtime listener to the show, you already know we can do great work and help people bring light to the darkness of cancer. Over the past 20 years, LLS has helped fund over 70%. Did I say what LLS was? The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society has helped fund over 70% of FDA-approved blood cancer treatments. Please consider making a donation today. Just click on the link in the show notes, and thanks. Let's see. Let's read about Feeding America. In a country that wastes billions of pounds of food each year, and let me tell you something, I still have an issue with food waste. I still have that legacy burden, and I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to be like, yeah, you don't have to finish all the food on your plate. It's okay to throw the rest of that sandwich in the trash. And it's unhealthy to force yourself to kind of finish stuff. That is burdened eating, which makes me want to give a shout out to Jean Corazano, or how do you say her name? The Dick Schwartz's wife wrote a book called Unburdened Eating, I want to say. Anyway, I'm way off track here. Let's start over. In a country that wastes billions of pounds of food each year, it's almost shocking that anyone in America goes hungry. Yet every day there are millions of children and adults who do not get the meals they need to thrive. We work to get nourishing food from farmers, manufacturers, and retailers to people in need. At the same time, we also seek to help our neighbors build a path to a brighter, food-secure future. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Last read here, Pro Bono Counseling, your mental health connection. At Pro Bono Counseling, we believe access to quality mental health care is a human right and can change a person's life. Our goal is to help people of all backgrounds in Maryland find the right mental health professional to meet their needs, no matter their income. Visit probonocounseling.org to learn more. That's the podcast. Thank you all for listening, as always, and I will see you next time. Enjoy, keep breathing in September, and yeah, stay tuned for Bob Falconer and Jerry Marzinski. Cannot wait. All right, take care of yourselves. Until next time. The Robin Smith Show is produced by me, Robin Smith. Executive produced by Robin and Kelly Glenn Smith at Team Robley. Theme song by The Very Small. The show is engineered by one of my alters, Games Nabisco. Listeners can get in touch by calling or texting the hotline at 301-458-0883. Messages can be sent to robinsmithshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Disclaimer. This podcast is for general information purposes only and does not constitute the practice of medicine, psychotherapy, or other professional healthcare services, including the giving of medical advice. Note, no therapist-patient relationship is formed. The use of this information is at the listener's own risk. The content of this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnoses, or treatment. Listeners should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice for any medical condition they have and should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.